When installing cable tray for telecom cabling and utilizing 4-inch electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, as sleeves through walls, it is crucial to ground the conduit. Grounding the EMT is essential because it provides a conductive pathway that can safely carry fault currents back to the electrical panel. This grounding action helps to protect individuals from potential electrical shocks and safeguards equipment from damage caused by electrical faults. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, has specific requirements pertaining to the grounding of metal raceways, including EMT. These requirements emphasize the necessity of grounding to ensure electrical safety and proper system operation. The NEC mandates that all metal raceways, encompassing EMT, must be effectively grounded. This requirement stems from the need to provide a low-impedance path for fault currents, enabling protective devices like circuit breakers or fuses to quickly interrupt the circuit in the event of a fault. Furthermore, the NEC stipulates that grounding must be continuous throughout the entire raceway system. This continuity ensures that the grounding path remains intact, providing a reliable route for fault currents to flow back to the source. For EMT used as sleeves passing through walls, this requirement translates to grounding the conduit on both sides of the wall. To achieve proper grounding of the EMT conduit, several methods can be employed. One common approach is to utilize a grounding bushing or a grounding lock nut on each end of the conduit. These fittings are designed to provide a secure and reliable connection to the grounding system. The grounding bushing or lock nut should be connected to a grounding conductor. This conductor typically consists of a bare copper wire that serves as the primary path for fault currents. The grounding conductor must be connected to a grounding electrode. Common grounding electrodes include water pipes or ground rods. These electrodes provide a direct connection to the earth, ensuring that fault currents are safely dissipated. The specific requirements for grounding electrode size and installation are detailed in the NEC. Grounding serves several critical functions in electrical systems. Firstly, it protects personnel from electrical shock. In the event of a fault, the grounding system provides a low-impedance path for fault currents, causing protective devices to trip and de-energize the circuit, preventing electric shock. Secondly, grounding protects equipment from damage. Fault currents can generate significant heat, which can damage or destroy electrical equipment. Grounding provides a path for these currents to flow safely, minimizing the risk of equipment damage. Thirdly, grounding reduces electrical noise. Electrical noise can interfere with the operation of sensitive electronic equipment. Grounding helps to reduce noise by providing a stable reference point for electrical signals. To ensure effective grounding, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the grounding conductor must be properly sized. The size of the grounding conductor must be sufficient to carry the maximum fault current that could occur in the circuit. The NEC provides tables that specify the minimum size of grounding conductors based on the size of the circuit conductors. Secondly, the grounding connections must be secure and reliable. Loose or corroded connections can increase the impedance of the grounding path, reducing its effectiveness. All grounding connections should be made using approved methods and materials. Thirdly, the grounding system should be regularly inspected and tested. This helps to ensure that the system is functioning properly and that all connections are secure. Regular inspections can identify potential problems before they lead to electrical hazards. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the components and considerations involved in grounding EMT conduit sleeves. Firstly, grounding bushings. Grounding bushings are specialized fittings designed to provide a secure and reliable connection between the EMT conduit and the grounding conductor. They typically feature a set screw that tightens onto the conduit, ensuring a solid mechanical and electrical connection. The bushing also includes a lug or terminal for attaching the grounding conductor. Secondly, grounding lock nuts. Grounding lock nuts are similar to standard lock nuts but include a grounding lug or terminal. They are installed in the EMT conduit in the same manner as standard lock nuts, providing a secure connection while also facilitating the attachment of the grounding conductor. Thirdly, grounding conductors. Grounding conductors are typically bare copper wires that provide a low impedance path for fault currents. The size of the grounding conductor is determined by the size of the circuit conductors, as specified in the NEC. The grounding conductor must be properly installed and protected from physical damage. Fourthly, grounding electrodes. Grounding electrodes provide a direct connection to the earth, ensuring that fault currents are safely dissipated. Common grounding electrodes include water pipes, ground rods, and metal building frames. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding electrode size and installation. Fifthly, bonding jumpers. Bonding jumpers are used to connect different metal parts of the electrical system together, ensuring that they are all at the same electrical potential. This helps to prevent voltage differences that could create a shock hazard. Bonding jumpers are typically used to connect metal enclosures, raceways, and other metal components. Sixthly, NEC compliance. Compliance with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, is essential for ensuring the safety and proper operation of electrical systems. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding, bonding, and other aspects of electrical installations. It is important to consult the NEC and follow its guidelines when installing and maintaining electrical systems. Seventhly, inspection and testing. Regular inspection and testing of the grounding system are crucial for ensuring its effectiveness. Inspections can identify potential problems such as loose connections or corroded components. Testing can verify the integrity of the grounding path and ensure that it is capable of carrying fault currents. Eighthly, qualified personnel. The electrical work should only be performed by qualified personnel who are trained and experienced in electrical safety practices. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Ninthly, safety precautions. Always follow proper safety precautions when working with electricity. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and eye protection. De-energize circuits before working on them whenever possible. Use lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental re-energization of circuits. 10thly, documentation. Maintain accurate documentation of the electrical system, including grounding details. This documentation can be helpful for troubleshooting problems and ensuring that the system is properly maintained. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. By following the NEC requirements and using proper grounding techniques, you can help to protect people from electrical shock and equipment from damage. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about grounding. Let's look at some additional considerations for grounding EMT conduit sleeves. Firstly, conduit fill. Ensure that the EMT conduit is not overfilled with cables. Overfilling can make it difficult to properly ground the conduit and can also damage the cables. The NEC specifies the maximum allowable conduit fill for different types of cables and conduits. Secondly, corrosion protection. Protect the EMT conduit from corrosion, especially in damp or corrosive environments. Corrosion can degrade the grounding connection and reduce its effectiveness. Use galvanized or stainless steel EMT for added corrosion protection. Thirdly, accessibility. Ensure that the grounding connections are accessible for inspection and maintenance. Avoid burying grounding connections or concealing them behind walls. Fourthly, mechanical protection. Protect the grounding conductors and connections from physical damage. Use conduit or other protective measures to prevent damage from impact or abrasion. Fifthly, labeling. Label the grounding conductors and connections to clearly identify them. This can help to prevent accidental disconnection or damage. Sixthly, torque specifications. Follow the manufacturer's torque specifications when tightening grounding connections. Over-tightening can damage the components, while under-tightening can result in a loose connection. Seventhly, compatibility. Ensure that the grounding components are compatible with each other. Use fittings and connectors that are specifically designed for use with EMT conduit. Eighthly, grounding electrode system. The grounding electrode system should be properly installed and maintained. The grounding electrode system provides the connection to the earth and is essential for dissipating fault currents. Ninthly, surge protection. Consider installing surge protection devices to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges. Surge protection devices can help to prevent damage from lightning strikes or other electrical disturbances. 10thly, continuous improvement. Continuously evaluate and improve your grounding practices. Stay up to date on the latest NEC requirements and best practices for grounding. By following these additional considerations, you can further enhance the effectiveness of your EMT Conduit grounding system. Grounding is a fundamental safety practice that should be taken seriously. In summary, grounding 4-inch EMT conduit used as sleeves for cable tray is not just recommended, it is a requirement by the National Electrical Code. This practice is crucial for creating a safe electrical environment, protecting personnel from potential electrical shocks, and preventing damage to valuable equipment. The continuous grounding throughout the raceway system, achieved by grounding the conduit on both sides of the wall, ensures that fault currents have a clear and safe path back to the electrical panel, allowing protective devices to quickly respond to any electrical anomalies. Remember, when installing and maintaining electrical systems, always prioritize safety and adhere to the NEC guidelines. If any uncertainties arise, consulting with a qualified electrician is always the best course of action to ensure the safety and proper functioning of the electrical system. By understanding the importance of grounding and implementing it correctly, you contribute to a safer and more reliable electrical installation.